Boom, welcome back to the channel. We're looking at some of my favorite products. Could be something that I think is investable, could be something that has a story on how I got it, or it could be something that I got cheap. So sit back, relax, and welcome to PokeMarketLab. Okay, we are looking at some of my favorite things, some of my favorite product that I have, maybe one single as well. So let's start first with one that has a story. Silver Tempest. I think is very solid. Set boxes are doing very well. Even the ETBs now are doing quite well. And if you remember in Sword and Shield, it's kind of dusty. Remember in Sword and Shield, ETBs were heavily printed. These were so dirt cheap even the last 8 months. I think we were down to like 25 bucks a pop on TCG Player. So I ordered, this is a TikTok steal. I ordered 6 of these on TikTok. The listing showed the Pokemon Center version. I knew it wasn't going to be the Pokemon Center version for 30 bucks. I took a gamble. So I ordered all 6. I got 6, and of course, regular ETBs, right? So I reached out to the seller who did not respond to my messages. So I reached out to TikTok, to their customer support, went back and forth with them. They refunded me. And of course, my expectation is, hey, we're going to get you a shipping label and get everything sent back to you. Well, because the seller wasn't replying to their inquiries, they just let me keep the boxes for free. So I got 6 of these bad boys for nothing. So it's surprising how many times that has happened to me, specifically on TikTok. Crazy. Not trying to scam anyone or anything, just dumb luck. So Silver Tempest, solid product. ETBs, I am limited on space here, so I don't go too heavy on ETBs unless they're specialty sets or unless there's something I really like. But very, very solid product. So just something that is appreciating recently that will continue to do well into the future. So the last full booster box set for Sword and Shield. Another ETB. I'm talking heavy on the ETBs today. We're looking at Paldean Fates. This box, I was shouting from the rooftops saying, this is a fantastic set. You have the best Charizard in Scarlet and Violet. You have the Bubble Mew. Boxes were dirt cheap. I was picking these up. I remember at a convention, I picked up a whole bunch of them for 35 bucks a pop. And then I was getting them on TikTok all day. So I probably have about 20 of these. And again, fantastic set. And this just goes to show I'm not some savant. I'm not an Einstein or something of seeing the future. I'm not Nostradamus, and I don't know what's going to happen in the market. I don't know what sets are going to pop. Cards look great. Great looking cards. All the baby shinies. Again, fantastic Charizard. Blows the Obsidian Charizard out of the water. Bubble Mew. Looked like a slam dunk to me, so I backed the truck up. Simple as that. So again, this is really just a story of just kind of, sticking to my guns and saying, I like this, I'm going to get more of it. And the opposite is true. If I don't like something, I try to get exposure to everything, get a little something, like even Shrouded Fable. I don't love it, but I get a couple boxes. So Paldean Fates, fantastic. 120 bucks a box now, 110, I think. All right, let's continue on. Actually, let's break things up with a single. So the way I typically do singles, not much from a cracking standpoint. Sometimes once in a while, I'll crack something I want and keep. Usually I'll sell it on TCG Player if I don't love it. Rather get the cash back. But there are some things I've hit that I absolutely love. One of those is the Pikachu EX here from Surging Sparks. Get a little close up there. Too close. So this I cracked on a weekend, on a whim. I was with a friend and we were having breakfast. And next to the place we were having breakfast was a game store I frequent often. And just popped in there and say hi and love to spend money at local game stores, get an ETB. Yes, they're more expensive than you get them online, but you're supporting a local store. We got to keep them alive. That's just a nostalgic thing for me. So I picked up an ETB. This was it release weekend? I think it was the weekend after. Picked up an ETB, drove home, and drove back to my friend's house. He dropped me off. I got in my car, was going to head home. I'm like, you know what? If I get home, the kids are going to want to crack this with me. That's what we do. I was like, this is for dad. So I got into the ETB. I'm opening it up, and boom, I see Pikachu EX. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second here. This isn't the top one. This isn't the one that's $500, right? I had to look because I knew there was a few different Pikachus. Actually, we had the Pikachu EX, we have the hyper rare Pikachu, and there's another Pikachu EX as well. So I thought it was the cheaper one. Nope. I pulled a $500 card, the best card I've ever pulled, hands down. Sitting in my car, just randomly picking up the ETB, not chasing it. I love it. I did not sell it. I want to keep it. It's not, certainly not PSA 10. I don't know if you can see it there. The centering is off a little bit, side to side. So one of the easiest tells to know it's not going to get a 10. So that just stays with me. That has a memory associated with it. That was a cool pull in a random spot on a whim on a random weekend. So that one stays with me. All right. One of my favorite penultimate box to open for me is Crown Zenith. I say this in like every video. I'm sorry if you keep hearing me talk about it. I love this set. It's an awesome set to open. I've opened a bunch of these with the kids. There's so many fantastic cards all throughout the set. Expensive cards, cheap cards. You get the gallery. There's just so many good things to love about this set. The box artwork is great. It was cheap for the longest time. It's not cheap now. These are 110, 120. I even loaded up on Sea and Sky. Did a bunch of them because it just, I see the writing on the wall, and it's going to be remembered as just a fantastic set because it is a fantastic set. And I have a couple Pokemon Center ETBs. I couldn't pull them out. They're kind of buried, or I would have. Those are my favorite ones. I had them displayed for a while, but I rearranged things. Those are phenomenal. Fantastic box art. So not cheap to open anymore. It was cheap. It was cheap not that long ago. I remember picking these up for 40 bucks a pop this summer on Amazon and opening them while on vacation with the kids. And it was a great time. So good memories with this. Great product. Picked it up cheap. I'll say this again. I bore people with this. Having what part of what makes a great set are great memories for a set. Part of what makes great memories for a set is opening it when it's cheap. So when booster boxes come out, I'm looking at you, Prismatic, and they skyrocket, it's very, very difficult to make memories with a product that you just don't open, or is so expensive that you open it and you're like, wow, that was a bust. So this was cheap. This is the way it's supposed to go from an investment standpoint. It's cheap. It's a great set. People have fond memories of it, and it slowly grows over time. And now it's at escape velocity because Sea and Sky's gone and no more packs to market. So excellent set. All right, let's go on to booster boxes here. This one is not particular in that it's has memories or anything like that. To me, it's just an awesome set. Actually, there's a memory here. Excuse me. So I picked up, this is way back when I first started really sinking my teeth into Pokemon and the investment side of things with Pokemon. This was probably around when I think it was when Brilliant Stars came out and the market just tanked. It was a bunch of reprints from the Pokemon Company hitting market, and prices were just tanking. I got these, not TikTok, this was off I think it was a rip and shipper at the time, 80 bucks a pop, 85 shipped, I think, with shipping. And I got a bunch because it's Fusion Strike. It looked good to me, right? And that was crazy, just crazy to think about, like, hey, coulda, woulda, shoulda in terms of deploying more money and I could have bought as many as I wanted. I was just limited by capital, always limited by capital, always. And that's the only regret I ever have is it's not missing out on sets or skipping out on sets. It's the sets it's not now when things are expensive. That's not the regret now. The regret now is just that I didn't get more of this, when people hated it and didn't want it, that I just didn't go even deeper. But this is the thing. I've gone deep on product on sets before and they don't pan out. So there's some opportunity cost there. This is why I spread things out thin. I'm capital limited, I'm space limited. And so you have to be choosy on what you get. And that's why I just try to go distressed asset, which it was at the time, but it was a good product. And it goes back to, again, that Gengar at the top for me, that Willy Wonka Gengar, I was like, that's a slam dunk. Why don't people want that? Paid off. So look at the sets, look at the cards in the set. That's the trick. All right. Evolving Skies. This box, this is a Evolving Skies ETB, regular ETB, not a Pokemon Center ETB. Unfortunately, it's got a small tear at the top, but I got this at a local game store. This was when Evolving Skies was probably about $80, $90 a box. Local game store had it at a discount for $45 a box because of that tear. Yeah, it's a tear, but long term, you know, few years from now, not gonna matter. Not gonna matter at all. So, really cool game store I like to go to, and it was on sale, and I was like, you know what, gotta pick it up, gotta have it. It's Evolving Skies. I didn't have any exposure to Evolving Skies from I got a bunch of the sleeved hanger packs, but I didn't get any box exposure, so I had to have something. I didn't get booster boxes. Why? Because they're expensive at the time. When I was paying attention, I was like, those can't go much further. $300 a box, that's not gonna go any higher. Yeah, missed out on that one. All right, speaking of Evolving Skies hanger packs, I got a boatload of these, like a boatload. So I grabbed these when they were, I found them at retail. I actually found them at a grocery store not far from my house. Happened to see them there. They were $5 a pop. And so at the time they were pushing $7 or $8. I knew it was Evolving Skies. This is when I was like getting into the cards more and making my own determination about, you know, I think that's a really good set. And so Evolving Skies was starting to catch fire, I'll say. And they had hundreds of these. So I grabbed a bunch. I probably grabbed 50, 60 packs, called it a day. And I was in the self-checkout line scanning one at a time, times 50. So I was the idiot standing there scanning Pokemon packs, right? And of course, in retrospect, with these being $20 a pop, $25 a pop now, actually, that was a great move. What I kicked myself on is I went back and I got more, but I left some there. I was like, do I really want to go all in? Do I want to go, you know, do I want to tie up that much capital? And I just kicked myself for not believing in myself more. I made the determination. I made the plan in my head and said, the cards are great. This is catching fire. This is how you buy low, you sell high, you buy really good sets, you let them sit. These are fantastic. They carry your premium versus individual packs. You're getting MSRP Evolving Skies, which is at the time there was no such thing as MSRP Evolving Skies packs, boxes, anything. It wasn't nuts like it is now, but it wasn't crazy. So I left some, and just kicking myself. I could have gotten hundreds of packs. I had the capital at the time, and I just wasn't sure of myself. And that was a lesson. That was a lesson that, especially, you know, a couple years on now, that I need to be more sure when I make the plan. I got to go heavy sometimes. When it's a solid product, when it's a given like that, right? You're buying under market price. It's Evolving Skies. It's the penultimate set of Sword and Shield. So there's risk there, right? Again, there's opportunity cost. Like I talked about in that set earlier, that, you know, that I went all in on it. It'll pan out eventually, but it tied up a lot of capital at the time that I couldn't quickly liquidate if I needed to at a profit, right? It's paying off, but it's taking a long time. So there's opportunity cost there. But again, I knew what the set was. I knew how it was performing. I knew how, you know, I had ideas about how it was going to perform, and I just didn't trust myself. And made a bunch of money. Unrealized gains. I haven't sold any of these, but you know, that was a good call. Packs. One of the best ways you can invest in Pokemon for cheap, hanger packs. These carry a premium. Pick up a few. Five Below sells them. A lot of grocery stores sell them. Get at MSRP, even if you're paying full price, the $5. Just grab a couple here and there. They store very easy. You can literally put a, you know, screw in the wall and hang them there. Great way to go. All right. So that was a few of my favorite things that I have from Pokemon. So that's all I got for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And of course, if you like what we're doing, leave us a like and give us a subscribe. And we will see you on the next one. PokeMarketLab out.